So this is like my 5th attempt at recording the audio for this video, so sorry if I forget anything important or if I just talk too fast, because that seems like what I've been doing every single time, and I'm not really going to try against that because I talk about a lot in a short amount of time. So this is my first Swans review. This is also my first Swans album. I've never listened to any albums from them before. I've listened to 2 songs, Paradise Is Mine, which is on the Beggar, but before that I'd listened to Mind, Body, Light, Sound, which is from their 90s run. And Mind, Body, Light, Sound is a brilliant song, so is Paradise Is Mine. It's one of my favourite songs from the album, in fact. And I was very excited to get into this. It released on the 23rd of June this year, so not long ago, literally at the time of recording, 7 days ago, a week ago. I was on holiday at the time, so I couldn't listen to it immediately, but when we got back, it's a very long album, so it took me a while to decide to actually listen to it, but I did, and it's brilliant. It's a 10 out of 10 masterpiece for me. I'll definitely be looking through the rest of the Swans discography with very important albums like To Be Kind and Soundtracks for the Blind. But in this video, with no script, I'm just going to be talking about it, make these quick album reviews, as I want to call them. Just talking about new albums, old albums, classic, important, whatever, and just give my thoughts on them. So The Beggar is a very slow album. It's immediately noticeable. It has 11 songs and runs for over 2 hours in length. I've never listened to an album that's more than an hour and a half or so in length, except the compilation Echoes the Best of Pink Floyd. So going into this, I wasn't really sure how to feel. It was late at night when I listened to it, and that really helped a lot. It made me really feel the atmosphere of it and hear the words that the lead singer was singing. I don't know who the lead singer is, I don't know who anyone in the band is. All I know is that they've been making music for 40 years and they're amazing, according to a lot of their fans, and now basically according to me after one album. So yeah, the runtime was a bit daunting, but as soon as it started, I really enjoyed it from the very beginning. The first song, The Parasite, 8.5 minutes long, has a 4.0 rating on Rate Your Music, and I gave it exactly a 4.0 rating on Rate Your Music. I feel like that rating fits perfectly, and the song does as well as the opener. Though I would kind of have preferred Paradise Is Mine to open the album. The Parasite, it really shows off the range of his vocals. Is equally true. And the bit where the music just stops and he just talks. It really makes the runtime feel worth it. Then Paradise Is Mine, 9.5 minutes, 4.2 rating on Rate Your Music, 5 out of 5 song. It's probably my 3rd favourite song off the album. It is absolutely brilliant. It was the first one I'd listened to because it was a single released prior to this, and it really got me excited for the album. His vocals on this as well. His vocals on everything are brilliant. I have to give him credit for that. He has some of the best vocals I've ever heard. The repeating of Am I Ready to Die, or whatever he says, it just hits me hard. Am I ready to die? I'm definitely gonna have to go through this album again, but I feel like this is gonna be one of the songs I listen to the most, and I would listen to it more if it didn't have a 10-minute runtime. Los Angeles City of Death, 3.5 minutes, the shortest song off this album, and the lowest rated, 3.8 out of 5 on Rate Your Music. Also in these videos, I'm not going to be able to mention that much. I'm very happy I'm able to mention in this video, because when albums are released on Rate Your Music for like the first month or so, everyone gets access to their individual track ratings, but after the month, only pro users can see that. So Los Angeles City of Death is a very, very fast song. It kind of hit me. We're drugged by the sun. It shocked me a bit. Everything I'd heard by Swans, Parasite, Paradise Is Mine, and Mind, Body, Light, Sound, everything had been really slow. So as soon as this started off immediately heavy rock, it shocked me, but I loved it. I very quickly gave it a 4.5, but lowered it to 4 after a few other songs also got 4.5. Mainly the next song, Michael Is Done. Michael Is Done is tied as the highest rated song, and I completely understand that. If any song on this album was going to be played on the radio, this would be it. His vocals with the back-end lady singer, it works insanely well. When Michael does speak, it just sounds beautiful, and it probably will be the song I listen to the most. It's 6 minutes long. It's a good length for Swans, considering their songs are always long, basically, except Los Angeles City of Death. Uniforming, I don't really remember at all. Now that I'm thinking back on it, it's 6 minutes long, has the exact same rating of a 4.0 as the opener, The Parasite. I also gave it the same rating of a 4.0, but it wasn't very memorable. The title track, The Beggar, was very good, 10 minutes. Not as good, I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, but I did really enjoy it. I have to give it credit, it's a great song. It's very slow, but it drags a little bit, I feel. It's the only song that truly feels like it drags. No More of This, 4.2 out of 5 on Rate Your Music. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's probably my fourth favourite off the album, behind Paradise Is Mine and the next song, Ebbing. So Ebbing is probably the highest rated song that isn't the Beggar Lover 3. Oh, it's good. It's very good. The first 7 minutes of the 11-minute track, it feels like Michael has done a proper track that people could enjoy even if they don't like Swans. And then there's a 4-minute outro, which is just really, it's really long, but it really works very well. And it's a 5 out of 5, and it's probably not going to be one I listen to too much, but we'll see if that changes, because that absolutely could change. Why can't I have what I want any time that I want? 7.5 minutes, 4.0 rating, very, very good as well. 4.5 stars. I feel like this was a bit underappreciated already, but I really enjoy it. But it's probably underappreciated because it immediately has, after it, the Beggar Lover 3. 44 minutes long. So this is their longest song ever, and I love long songs. I feel like once it gets past the 30-minute mark, it's either you love it or you hate it. Songs like Atom Heart Mother Sweet by Pink Floyd, I think that's a good song, but nothing brilliant. But then once you get past 30 minutes, you love it or you hate it, or at least that's how it works for me. I've listened to really 2 songs that are memorable past the 40-minute or so mark that isn't the Beggar Lover 3, and that was At by Arca, Hour Long, and I absolutely love that song, and Absolute and Go by Boris, which is also an hour, and I absolutely hate that song. So I was very excited to see which I would feel for this one, and it's one of the best songs I've ever heard. It's absolutely a 10 out of 10. It's the best thing off the album, and I have to give them credit. It combines 3 past songs, I believe. This is just what I've heard, but I'm not 100% sure. And it really works well. Everything just combines into one massive feeling track that didn't feel 44 minutes, but it works so well. And I will be listening to this quite a lot, I feel like, despite the song length. It could overtake Echoes as one of my most played really long songs. It is so good. Then the album closes with The Memorious, just under 9 minutes long, and this one is a very, very, very good song. In fact, I love this one, but I do feel like it's a bit of an abrupt ending. The vinyl release for this, which I will hopefully get one day, it's a bit sad, in fact, because despite the fact that almost everyone agrees that it works really well, and it might even work better than the actual track listing, they remove the Beggar Lover 3 and swap around some of the track listing. I completely understand them getting rid of the longest song off the album, because it would make it have to be 3 discs, which would be way more expensive than the 2 discs. It's already at £35. They don't want it to be any more than that. And I completely understand, because their previous albums, like To Be Kind, they probably could have sold a lot better if they were shorter. But with albums like that, there's so many songs that fit onto it, it's impossible to cut it down. But with this, it's just one song, one really long song, one really unique song that it doesn't really need, but it absolutely benefits from having, though it would still be a 10 out of 10 for me if the song wasn't on it. So the album is rumoured to be their final, and it does feel very final. It does feel very impactful and very much like a conclusion. I'm not sure if it will be. There's been open discussions about this, but they've been making music since their debut album Filth in 1983, and 16 albums. I could definitely understand them wanting to retire, wanting it to be over. This album has a 3.86 out of 5 rating on Rate Your Music, which makes it 7th at the moment. Behind White Light, The Great Annihilator, The Glowing Man, The Seer, To Be Kind, and Soundtracks for the Blind. This is something I'll be going back to a lot. It's an experience of an album, and I very heavily recommend it. So far, it's definitely my album of the year, but I haven't listened to that many. Though hopefully with these album reviews and me wanting to rate modern albums instead of older albums, that will change. But so far, I have to slap the title of Album of the Year onto The Beggar by Swans.